Now let us see the second stage of accounting cycle, that is ledger. The second stage of accounting cycle is ledger. So just now we have seen that how to prepare the format of journal, how to pass the journal entries from the transactions done in the business by using the different accounts and rules of accounts. Once you have completed passing the journal entries for the transactions conducted in the business, the second stage of this accounting cycle is the ledger. So all the transactions in journal are recorded in a chronological order, right? That is in date wise. So after a certain period, if we want or if the business want to know whether a particular account is showing the debit balance or the credit balance, so it is very difficult if you are not preparing this ledger. So it is possible only after preparing the ledger book or the accounts in the ledger book. Otherwise it is not possible to know whether the different accounts showing whether it is debit balance or credit balance. So the ledger is designed to accommodate the various accounts maintained the trader in the business for a particular period. So this is a book which is prepared by the business to know whether the accounts are showing the debit balance or the credit balance. That kind of information is provided by the ledger book, which consists of various accounts. So it contains all the final or the permanent record of all the transactions in duly classified form. So based on the type of account, we need to prepare the different types of accounts in order to close the accounts and find the balance of the respective account, whether it is showing the debit balance or the credit balance. So a ledger is a book which contains various accounts, that is sales account, purchases account, wages account, salaries account, and all other different types of accounts based on the ledger journal entries. So the process of transferring the journal entries from journal to the ledger is known as a posting. So the process of transferring the entries from the journal to the ledger is known as posting into the ledger. So posting is the process of entering the ledger the entries given in the journal, or here posting is the process of transferring or posting the journal entries from the journal to the ledger book accounts or the ledger accounts. Posting into the ledger done periodically, maybe weekly or fortnightly, or as per the convenience of the business or the policies of the business or the terms and conditions of the business. If they want to know the weekly performance of the business, then will transfer the journal entries to the ledger accounts. If they want to know the financial information for weekly or monthly or quarterly or half yearly or yearly, so based on the information required by the business, they will transfer the journal entries to the ledger accounts in order to know the financial information of the business with respect to the different accounts, whether the accounts are showing the debit balance or the credit balance. So here there are certain guidelines need to follow while posting the journal entries into the ledger. That is, after completion of passing the journal entries for the transactions done in the business, then we need to start posting the entries into the ledger. For each item in journal, a separate account to be opened. Further, for each new item, a new account is to be opened. For example, in the just now we have seen that the entry is machinery account debtor to cash account. So here in this entry we have two accounts, that is machinery account and the cash account. So here at the time of opening the accounts in the ledger book, for each item, that is machinery and cash in this case of entry, For each item, we need to open a separate account in the ledger book. So this is called missionary account and it is called cash account. Like this, for every entry, we need to take we need to open the separate account for each and every item which we are taking from the journal entries. So depending upon the number of transactions done in the business, the space for the each account is to be determined in the ledger, whether it is for 10 transactions or the 15 transactions or 20 transactions, or based on the number of transactions they have conducted, the space for the respective account to be determined in order to open the accounts for the each account. For each account, there must be a name, that is sales account, missionary account, purchase account, land account, debtors account, creditors account, salaries account, wages account, discount account, commission account. There are different names for the transactions, that is the item names. Based on the item or the account, we need to open the account on the name of the item which is recorded in the journal. So at the end of the name, the word account is to be added. So here, for example, after opening the account, we need to write the name of the account, for example, missionary. After writing the name of the account, we should add the word, that is account or AC. We can write as a account or simply AC, means account. So the name of the account and we need to add the word account, means that this account is the missionary account. The information which is providing in this format is related to the missionary account. In this way, for each and every item, we need to open a separate account in the ledger. So this is a process of transferring the journal entries to the ledger. Then the debit side of the journal entry is to be posted on the debit side of the account by starting with the word to, and the credit side of the journal entry is to be posted on the debit side of the account by starting with the word by. So here there are two sides of the format of account, that is debit side and the credit side. Let us see what is the format of the account which we are opening for the each item which has passed in the journal. So basically account is a T-shaped format. We have seen, we have discussed in the terminology, basic terminology for the accounting. In that we have seen that account is a T-shaped format. We can say it is a T-shaped format, that is big T-shaped format. And here there are two sides. There are two sides in this format, that is here we can say, for our sake understanding, left hand side, and this is a right hand side, left hand side and the right hand side. The left hand side of the account is known as a debit, which is denoted by DR. The left hand side of the column, the left hand side of the account is known as debit side, which is denoted by DR. The right hand side of the account, this column is known as credit side, which is denoted by CR, that is credit. So this is the left hand side, which is the debit of the account. Here the right hand side of the account called credit column, which is denoted by CR. So after dividing the format into the two columns, debit and credits, now we need to classify again the debit side of the account into three columns, such as date, particulars, amount in rupees. Similar manner, the credit side also, the column is classified into three columns, that is date, particulars, amount in rupees. See, the particular column of the each account should be more width than the date and amounts column. Amount in rupees. So the middle of the account, the heading is the name of the account, name of the item ending with the account. As I said, missionary account. This is the title which we need to write as the name of the account, whether it is missionary account, sales account, purchase account, or any name of the account. This is the format of the account. Here we find there are different columns. There are different columns in account, that is date column, particulars column, amount in rupees column. Date, particulars, amount in rupees. There are 6 columns in the format of account, such as date, particulars, amounts, date, particulars, and amounts. Now let us see what is what is the purpose of these columns in the account format. So the first column is the date. The first column is the date. The date column is used to write the date of the transaction. The date column is used to write the date of the transaction which we have written in the journal format while passing the journal entries. So based on the date, we need to write here the date of the transaction. Particulars column is used to write or the details of the item, whether it is the machinery or sales or purchases or wages or sales, whatever it is the item, we need to write here the details of the transaction. Here, as it is the debit side of the account, the debit side of the item must start with the word to. Just now we have discussed, that is the rules, the guidelines for preparing the account. In that we have discussed that the debit side of the account item must start with the word to. This is mandatory. So the each item in the debit side of the account must start with the word to. Then here you can write the name, transaction, nature of the transaction, whether it is purchases or the missionaries or the sales or whatever the item is, you can write here. Then the third column is the amounts column. So we need to write here the amount, whether it is 1 lakh or 2 lakh or whatever the amount it is, we need to write here the amount of the corresponding account. The amount of the corresponding account. So amount column is used to write the amount of the corresponding account. This is the purpose of amount column. Similar manner, here there are 3 columns in the credit side of the account, that is date, particulars, and amount. Right. How you are writing the date of transactions? In the date column in the debit side of the account. Similarly, you can write here the date of the transaction which we are posting in the credit side of the account. So here we need to write again the date of the transaction that we have done in the business based on the journal entry. Then here the particulars column in credit side of the account shows the details of the transaction. The details of the transaction or detail of the item that we are posting here. And remember, as it is the credit side of the account, the credit side of the item must start with the word by. So here we discussed in guidelines for preparing the account. Here the debit side of the account item, the credit side of the account item must start with the word by. Then you can write here the name of the account, whether it is sales account or income account or interest received account, whatever it is, we can write here the name of the account or item of the account. Then the amounts in rupees, the credit side of the account shows also the amount column. This amount column is used to write the amount of the corresponding account. the amount of the corresponding account. So these are the different columns that we are using in the account. Now here another part is that the heading or the title of the account. The title of the account nothing but the name of the account. If you are preparing the missionary account, we need to write here missionary account. You are preparing capital account, you can write here capital account. If you are writing a sales account, sales account. If you are preparing cash account, we need to write here cash account. Means here the title of the account shows or discloses the name of the account. The format or this account is belongs to this particular account, whether it is sales account, purchases account, missionary account, cash account, expenditure account, discount account, commission account, whatever it is the name of the account, we need to write here the name of the account. Here the debit and the credits, this is mandatory to write the debit and credit. The debit side of the account, we need to write it as a capital letter D and small letter R at the left hand side at the edge and top of the left edge of the account, whereas the credit side of the account used to show with the word capital C small r, means that is credit. So we need to write this here at the top of the account at the right edge. So it is left edge of the account, it is the right edge of the account. So without these debit and credits, if you are not writing these words debit and credit, we cannot say that this is an account. The difference between the statement and the account is that statement which does not have the debit and credit columns, it should not be dividing into debit and credit. If the format dividing into the debit and credit columns, that is called as account. If the format dividing into the two columns, entire format is dividing into the two columns as debit and credit, that is called an account. If this is not dividing into the debit and credit columns, then we cannot say that is an account, but it is a statement. This is only the difference between the account and the statement. I am repeating, the statement is not having the debit and credit columns. The statement which does not dividing into the debit and credit column, but whereas the account should divide into the two columns as debit and credit. That we need to remember. So this is an account, format of account, and these are the different columns that we need to fill, that we need to prepare in order to prepare the different accounts or the several accounts in the ledger book. So ledger book is book which consists of several accounts, the size of the accounts, the number of accounts that we need to prepare in this ledger book is based on the journal entries that we have passed in the journal. So from the journal only we need to prepare the ledger book. If there is no journal or we didn't pass the journal entries, it is not possible to prepare the ledger book which consists of several accounts. So this is the second stage of the accounting cycle, that is ledger. Simply, ledger is a book which consists of several accounts like sales, purchases account, sales account, cash account, capital account, salary account, wages account, debtors account, creditors account, and different accounts based on the entry that we have passed in the journal. So this is about the ledger. Now let us take one simple illustration how we can post the entry or the item in the ledger account from the journal entries, right? For For example, here there is one transaction, that is purchased machinery for rupees 1 lakh. Second one is sold goods rupees 50,000. Sold goods rupees 50,000. Third one, wages rupees 10,000. 10,000. So here this is the transaction done on January 1st. The year is 2020, and it is on January 2nd, it is on January 3rd. So they are the transactions done during on these days, January 1st, January 2nd and January 3rd. Purchased machinery for rupees 1 lakh, sold goods rupees 50,000, wages paid for rupees 10,000. So here the question is, prepare the accounts for these transactions. Prepare the accounts for these transactions. See, without passing the journal entry for the transactions, we cannot prepare the accounts for the entries. So before, if you want to prepare the accounts for these transactions, first we need to pass the journal entries. So first we need to pass the journal entries for these transactions. As we know that here journal entries, need to write journal entries for the period January 2020 as per given. So the columns are date, particulars, ledger folio, debit, amount in rupees, credit, amount in rupees. So these are the columns that we need to draw for preparing the journal or pass the journal entries. Now the first transaction is on January 1st, 2020, purchased machinery for rupees 1 lakh. See, while passing the journal entries, to prepare the journal, we need to understand the transaction, that is the nature of transaction, whether it is relating to the personal account or the real account or the nominal account. If you understand the nature of the transaction, then it is very easy to apply the rule of account in order to pass the journal entry. Now the first one is purchased machinery for rupees 1 lakh. This is a transaction done on January 1st, 2020. So in date column we can write January 1st, 2020. Now purchased machinery for rupees 1 lakh. See, we have three types of accounts: personal account, real account, nominal account. So what is the principle to identify whether it is belongs to or related to personal, real and nominal account? If the transaction relating to the persons or name of the persons, name of the businesses or name of the companies, then that transaction is relating to the personal account. So in this transaction, if you observe purchased machinery rupees 1 lakh, means that there is no name of the person, name of the business, name of anything. So that is not relating to the personal account. Therefore, we cannot apply the rule of personal account. The second account is real account and the nominal account. What is the basis for real account? If the transaction is related to the assets, that is real account. Transaction is related to the expenditure, that is nominal account. Let us see. So purchase machinery for rupees 1 lakh. So here we are purchasing machinery for rupees 1 lakh. Machinery, what is machinery for the business? See, remember, while passing the journal entries, you need to assume that each and every transactions from the business point of view, not from the outsiders. So here we are purchasing machinery for rupees 1 lakh. Machinery is an asset. Machinery is an asset. Therefore, asset is relating to the real account. Asset is relating to the real account. Then what is the rule of real account? The rule of real account is debit what comes in, credit what goes out. That is the rule of real account. So here, when you purchasing machinery for the business, machinery is coming into the business, right? Machinery is coming into the business. Then, so machinery is relating to the real account, hence it should be debited or credited. Machinery is coming into the business or going. When you are purchasing machinery coming into the business. So as per the rule of real account, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So machinery is coming into the business, then machinery account should be debited. Machinery account should be debited. Worth of rupees 1 lakh. Worth of rupees 1 lakh. Now this is debit aspect. Now we need to find the second aspect of the transaction, that is credit aspect. As we are following double entry bookkeeping system, double entry bookkeeping system tells us we need to identify the two aspects, because double entry bookkeeping system is the system where there is a debit, there should be a corresponding credit in order to tally the accounts. So here we have found the debited or the debit aspect. Now we need to find the credit aspect of the transaction. Now, so 1 lakh rupees is another keyword that has given. So 1 lakh rupee is going out in the form of cash, because they didn't mention any word like bank or check. Therefore, cash is an asset of the business, that is current asset of the business. See, real account is relating to the assets, whether it is current asset or the fixed asset. So cash is the current asset. As it is current asset, it is relating to the real account. So cash is relating to the real account. As we found that the cash is relating to the real account. So once you found that it is relating to the real account, now we need to apply the rule of real account. What is the rule of real account? Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Here, when you are purchasing machinery worth of rupees 1 lakh, then the cash is going out, worth of machinery coming in. So as the cash is going out from the business, the cash should be credited according to the rule. Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Here the cash is going out from the business, right? That should be credited. So worth of 1 lakh rupees. Worth of 1 lakh rupees. So we found the two aspects, debit aspect as well as the credit aspect. Now we need to pass the entry for this transaction. So here machinery account is debited, cash account is credited. Now the entry in the journal is machinery account debtor to cash account. Remember here we need to write the DR at the right edge of the column. While writing the credit item, we need to leave some space from left to right. Then you can start with the word to cash account. So leave some space here. Need not to write here the folio number, ledger folio number, because we didn't prepare the ledger until now. So leave this column. Now what is the amount? Worth of 1 lakh rupees machinery is coming into the business, and worth of 1 lakh rupees cash is going out from the business. So amount column 1 lakh rupees for the corresponding account, 1 lakh rupees for the corresponding account, because the debit and credit columns are used to write the amount of the account which we are taking here. Machinery worth of 1 lakh rupees coming in, cash worth of 1 lakh rupees is going out. So immediately after passing the entry, we need to write the narration, being machinery purchased. Being machinery purchased. So we have to, this is mandatory to write the narration. This is called as a narration. What is called? This is called narration. Narration is a simple statement which explains the entry. Narration is a simple statement which explains the entry. So we have completed the entry for the first transaction based on the nature of transaction. Now the second one, that is sold goods rupees 50,000 on January 2nd. On January 2nd. So need not to write here again the year number, because almost maximum we will conduct the transactions in the same year unless it is following the accounting period from April 1st to March 31st in the next year. So as we have done this transaction in the same month, there is no changes in the year number. January 2nd, need not to write the year number again. Now the second transaction is that sold goods for rupees 50,000. What is the nature of transaction? Sales. What is the nature of transaction? Sales. Sales, sold goods worth of rupees 50,000. See, when we are conducting the transactions with the current assets, I am repeating, when we are conducting the transactions with the current asset, instead of writing the name of the current asset, we can write the sales or the purchases based on the nature of transaction. If it is sales of raw material, then we can write sales. If it is purchase of raw material, we can write the purchase, unless it is the fixed asset. If it is fixed asset, we can write the name of the fixed asset. If it is not the fixed asset, or that is current asset, you can write, instead of the goods, we can write the entry with the sales, the word sales. Now here goods, here as we discussed in the terms, goods are the stock are the three types, such as raw material, work in progress, finished goods. So these three are comes under the stock or the inventory, which is comes under the current asset. So good is a current asset. Good is a current asset. As there is no name of the person in the transaction, it is not relating to the personal account. And as the transaction is consist of goods, relating to the goods, goods is a current asset, assets relating to the real account. As per real account, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So when we are selling goods, when you have sold goods to the outsiders, the goods are going out. The goods are going out. So here we can write sales in terms of goods relating to the real account. Relating to the real account. According to real account, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. As the goods are going out from the business, then sales should be credited. Sales should be credited, worth of rupees 50,000. 50,000. So the credit aspect we found from the transaction. Now the second aspect, that is debit. What is the debit aspect in this transaction? So the second key item given, identified in the transaction is 50,000. 50,000 rupees in terms of cash, because every time I am repeating that 50,000 not in terms of cash, or in term not given in the name of bank. Therefore by default we can assume that in the form of cash. So 50,000 rupees is cash. Cash is a current asset of the business. Current asset of the business. So here cash is current asset. As it is current asset, it is related to the real account, because all the assets are relating to the real account. Fixed assets are the current assets. Current cash is a current asset which is relating to the real account. According to the real account, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Here the cash is coming into the business. When we conducted the sales goods in the business, the cash come into the business. As it is coming into the business, it should be debited. It should be debited worth of rupees 50,000. Then the entry is cash account debtor to sales account rupees 50,000 and 50,000, which has conducted on January 2nd. January 2nd. So these are the two aspects. This is debit aspect, this is credit aspect. Now pass this journal entry for the transaction in journal. As here, cash account debtor to, remember by leaving some space from left to right, sales account worth of 50,000 rupees, cash coming into the business, 50,000 rupees worth of good is going out in terms of sales. Now the narration, being sold goods, being sold goods. With this, the entry completed for the transaction done on January 2nd. Now the third transaction. The third transaction is on January 3rd. The date of transaction is on 3 or 3rd. What is the transaction? Wages rupees 10,000. Unless the word mentioned in the transaction, that is received, we can treat or assume this as expenditure, means wages paid. If any word mentioned clearly that the received, then we can assume that income for the business. Otherwise, that is expenditure to the business. Then entry is wages rupees 10,000. Wages rupees 10,000. See, there is no name of the person, hence it is not relating to the personal account, and there is no name of the asset, it is not relating to the fixed asset. But here wages is the nature of expenditure. Wages is the nature of expenditure. When there is a item relating to the expenditure, that is relating to the nominal account. There are three accounts, right? Personal account, real account and nominal account. This transaction is not relating to the personal account because there is no name of the person or name of the company or any names. The second one, here the real account. Real account means there is a key item, that is cash. 10,000 rupees is cash related to the current asset. Cash relating to the current asset. So cash is relating to the real account because it is asset, right? Cash is current asset which is relating to the real account. As when you are paying wages to the workers or the laborers, the worth of 10,000 rupees is going in terms of cash. Cash is going worth of 10,000 rupees. As per the real account, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. As the cash is going out from the business, it should be credited. It should be credited for rupees 10,000. This is the credit aspect of the transaction. Now we need to find the debit aspect of the transaction, that is wages. Another key word given in the transaction is wages. Wages is the nature of expenditure. Expenditure is relating to the nominal account. The rule of nominal account is debit the expenditures or incomes, credit the incomes and gains. As it is expenditure to the business, according to the nominal account, that account should be debited. So here wages relating to the nominal account, according to the nominal account, debit the expenditures and incomes, credit incomes and gains. As it is expenditure to the business, so wages should be debited because it is expenditure to the business. Wages should be debited worth of rupees 10,000. Now we found the two aspects of transaction, that is debit and credit. Now we will pass the entry for this transaction as, what is the debit item? Wages. So here wages account debtor to what is going out? Cash is going out. Cash account rupees 10,000, debit column corresponding 10,000. Right? Now the narration, being wages paid, being wages paid. This is the narration for the entry. So what is the narration? Narration is a small statement which explains the details of the entry that we have passed in journal. So we have passed journal entries for the transactions done during the month of January 2020. See, as the double entry bookkeeping system says that where there is a debit, there should be a corresponding credit. At the end of the accounting period, if you want to know whether the entries which we have passed are correct or not, we can also find by taking the balances of these debit and credit columns. If these two columns are tallied, then we can say that the transactions that we have passed in terms of entries are correct. See, 1,50,000 plus 10,000, total 1,60,000. Similar manner, the credit, 1,50,000 plus 10,000, 1,60,000. Both debit and credit columns are tallied, hence our journal entries that we have passed in journal is correct, accurate. So now we need to pass these entries. We need to pass these entries in the ledger book. What is ledger book? Ledger book is a book which consists of several accounts which are prepared by using the entries passed in the journal. Now here, how many accounts need to be prepared? Here, machinery account, cash account, cash already prepared, need not to prepare again here, sales account, and fourth one is wages account. Here again, cash need not to prepare. One account can prepare only one time in the ledger book. Any number of transactions done relating to that account, we need to post in that account only, right? So that is why, based on the number of transactions done, we need to determine the space for the account. Here, how many accounts need to open? Machinery account 1, cash account 2, sales account 3, wages account 4. 4 accounts need to be opened here. So we are preparing the ledger accounts in ledger book. It is our ledger book. In this book, we need to open the machinery account, cash account, sales account, and wages account. As there is no space here, we are opening only the 3 accounts. And here, every account should be classified into 2 columns, debit column and credit column. We are dividing the entire format into the 2 sides, debit sides and the credit side. And debit side of the account classified into 3 columns, date, particulars, amount in rupees. Simply write rupees. Similar manner, credit, date, particulars, and amount in rupees. Similar manner, second one also, date, particulars, amount in rupees, date, particulars, amount in rupees. Here credit, it is debit. Again the third one, date, particulars, amount in rupees, date, particulars, amount in rupees. Also credit, debit. So we are preparing as of now only 3 accounts, that is missionary account, cash account, sales account. So we are not preparing various account because there is no space here, right? Now let us transfer the journal entries from the journal to the ledger. Now we are transferring the journal entries from journal to the ledger, that is called as a posting, that is known as posting. So first we need to open missionary account. So the name of the account is missionary. So every name of the account must end with the word account, missionary account. The second account that we need to open is cash account. Remember the title of the account must be in the middle of the format. The third one is sales account. We have opened 3 accounts for the transactions or the entries passed in journal. Now we need to post these or transfer these entries into the ledger, that is called posting, right? So as we have seen in guidelines while posting or transferring these entries to the ledger, that is, so here missionary account debtor to cash account, missionary account debtor to cash account. It means that in missionary account cash should be debited, and you can also remember as whatever the item starting with the word TO2, that item should be posted in the debit side in the account. If the item in the journal entry starting with the word to, that account or the item should write in the debit side of the respective account, opposite account. For example, here missionary account debtor to cash account means that in missionary account the cash account should be debited, cash should be debited. See, what is the date of transaction? January 1st. In date column, January 1st 2020, we are preparing missionary account. In missionary account the cash should be debited because this item or this account starting with the word to. Now here it is to cash account. What is the amount of cash account? 1 lakh rupees. 1 lakh rupees. Yes, completed. This is a process of transferring the journal entries to the ledger account. Now immediately in cash account missionary should be credited. Because here we have posted missionary. In missionary cash has posted in debit side. Immediately in cash account missionary account should be created on January 1st 2020. As it is a credited item, we need to start with the word by. This is also we have discussed in guidelines. By missionary account worth of 1 lakh rupees. Missionary account worth of 1 lakh rupees. Now the posting of the entry in the ledger account is completed for this transaction. Now coming to the second one, cash account debtor to sales account. Cash account already opened. Now we need to open for sales account. for sales, that is sales account. Now post this entry to the ledger account. Cash account data to sales account means here, as the sales is the starting with the word to, means that in cash account the sales should be debit, sales should be debited. So in cash account debit side, January 2nd 2020 to sales account worth of 50,000, sales account worth of rupees 50,000. Immediately in sales account the cash should be right in credit side. Immediately in sales account cash should be credited. So date January 2nd 2020 by cash account worth of rupees 50,000. Now we have completed the second entry, posting in the ledger account. So cash account data to sales account. Cash account data to sales account means here, as it is starting with the word to, so you can remember posting the entries in ledger account like this also. Whatever the item or the account starting with the word to, that should be debited in the corresponding account, cash account data to sales account, and in sales account immediately credited with the word cash by cash account 50,000. So this is a process. This is a process of transferring the journal entries to the ledger account. So nothing difficult here. If you understand the guidelines, or if you understand the rules of accounts, it is very easy to transfer the journal entries to the ledger account. Now after posting the journal entries to the ledger account, after transferring the journal entries to the ledger accounts, immediately at the end of accounting period, at the end of a particular period, the account should be closed. Means balancing the accounts. Balancing the accounts is known as closing the accounts at certain period, at a particular date, on particular date. Now let us see how this account or how these accounts in the ledger book will be balanced. So this is a certain process. Balancing the accounts in the ledger book has certain process. So we need to follow the steps, right? Here, before closing the account, first we need to observe that the amounts available in the debit column and the credit column in amounts column. I am repeating, we need to observe the amounts available in amounts column in both debit and credit columns, both debit and credit columns. Then find the higher value or the highest amount, whether it is in debit side or the credit side. See here, in this case in missionary account, the debit side of the amount is more than the credit side of the amount, because it is zero. There is no transactions here, means it is zero. Here we have 1 lakh rupees in debit side, zero amount in the credit side, means the debit side amount is more than the credit side amount. Means here we need to first take the total of the highest amount, where we found the highest amount, whether it is debit or credit side. As we find the highest amount in debit side, first to balance the totals of the debit, then transfer the same amount in the same row to the opposite side account, opposite column. So we found 1 lakh rupees in debit side as the highest amount. The highest amount transfer to the opposite side of the account, that is the credit side of the account, as 1 lakh in the same row. Remember, in the same row. Now we need to find the difference between the credit amount and the total of the column. The total of the column is 1 lakh. There is no amount here. What the difference between these two? 1 lakh rupees, because we have zero balance here. We must get the balance remaining here, 1 lakh rupees. So whatever the balancing figure we find, this is called as a balance carried down. Actually it is a balance carried down. Simply we are writing it as C by D, carry down. C oblique D, balance carried down. So the balancing figure, whether it is debit side or the credit side, the balancing figure is always, the difference amount is always denoted by balance carried down. If the difference amount to finding the credit side, that amount will be written as by balance carried down, because it is found in the credit side. The difference amount is found in the credit side of the account. Balance carried down 1 lakh rupees, that is by balance carried down 1 lakh rupees. It is at the end of the period. For example, we are preparing for the month of January. What is the end date of the January? That is January 31st, 2020. On January 31st, 2020, by balance carried down is 1 lakh rupees. It means that missionary account showing the debit balance, where we can find the highest amount in that particular account. In this account, we found 1 lakh rupees is the highest amount in the debit side. Hence, we can simply say that missionary account showing the debit balance. See, once you find the balance carried down, this is also called as a closing balance of the missionary account for that particular period. At the end of the period, we found 1 lakh rupees as closing balance for the missionary account. That is at the end of the period, January 31st, 2020. That is closing balance for the month of January. Immediately, the same amount need to transfer to the next accounting period, the first date of the next accounting period. What is the next date of accounting period? After 31st January 2020, we will get the February 1st, 2020. We need to carry forward to the next accounting period, first date of the next accounting period, that is February 1st, 2020, as opening balance. See, as it is closing balance, opening balance always need to show in the opposite column in the same account, that is just below the total amounts. Here, balance brought down, it is denoted by balance brought down 1 lakh rupees. Balance brought down 1 lakh rupees. The opening balance is denoted by balance brought down. The closing balance is denoted by balance carried down. The difference amount is known as a balance carried down, that will be treated as the opening balance for the next accounting period on first date, that is February 1st, 2020. As we have found the closing balance in the credit side, we need to write the opening balance in the opposite side, just below the total amounts. Very important, just below the total amounts. Here the closing balance just above the closing balances. That is also very important in closing the accounts. As it is the debit side, that is balance brought down, we need to start with the word TO2. Irrespective of accounts, the debit side of the account, the debit side of the account must start with the word TO2. It is mandatory to write to and by. If it is debit side of the account starting with the word to, and if it is credit side of the account, that will start with the word by. So this is a process of closing of an account. So here, as the balance brought down or the opening balance showing in the debit side of the account means that machinery account is showing the debit balance, or we can also remember it as highest amount in the account is in debit side, hence this account showing the debit balance. Either of these two we can remember, either based on the opening balance or based on the amount available in that side of the account, debit or credit. In this case, machinery account debit side showing the highest amount, hence machinery account showing the debit balance. Or in machinery account, the opening balance showing debit side, that is balance brought down, hence the machinery account showing the debit balance. So this is a process of closing the accounts. Now coming to the cash account, as there is nil, we found the same amount as a closing balance. If the account has the amounts in both the sides, now let us see how. So the first step is find the highest amount in the account, whether it is in credit column or the debit column. So in debit side of the account is showing 50,000 rupees. The credit side of the account is showing 1 lakh rupees. Hence the credit side of the account, the credit side of the amount is more than the debit side. So first we need to balance the total of credit is 1 lakh rupees. If any items are here, we need to add all the items in order to sum up to get the total of the column. So 1 lakh rupees is the total of the credit column. Then that need to transfer to the opposite side. 1 lakh rupees in the same row, remember, the same row, and after writing the amount, we need to draw the two lines, means that the account is closing here. You should write the two lines after the amounts. Now identify the difference between these two. So already we have 50,000 rupees in the debit column, in amounts column, debit in amounts column. Here we have total 1 lakh rupees. So what is the difference between these two? 1 lakh minus 50,000 is 50,000. This is the difference between the total amount available in debit and the total of the account, totals of the account, that is 50,000. As we know that the difference amount is always denoted by balance carried down. The difference amount in the account always denoted by carried down. Here also we can denote this as balance carried down. We can denote the difference amount with the balance carried down. As we found this difference in the debit side, we need to start with the word to. As it is the closing balance, we need to write the end date of the accounting period, that is January 31st, 2020. So closing balance is always at the end of the accounting period. In this case, accounting period ending with the January 31st, 2020 to balance carried down, because it is closing balance, starting with the word to, because it is debit side. 50,000 is the difference amount, that is closing balance. To balance carried down is 50,000. Now immediately after writing the closing balance in the account, immediately we need to write the opening balance for the next accounting period. So here, as I said in the previous account, immediately after finding the closing balance, we need to carry forward the same amount to the next accounting period as opening balance. So opening balance is always denoted by balance brought down. in opposite side. That is 50,000 rupees is the closing balance, that is taken as the opening balance for the next accounting period. It is starting with the word by because the credit side. Here what is the next accounting period, next date, that is February 1st 2020 is the next date of accounting period, the first date of the next accounting period, February 1st 2020, by balance brought down 50,000. So the cash account, in this case cash account is showing the credit balance, cash account showing the credit balance, because here the machinery has purchased 1 lakh rupees but income only 50,000. So this account showing the credit balance. Next, sales account. Here 50,000 rupees sales account, the total is 50,000. This is transferred to the opposite side 50,000. Now the difference here is 50,000 because here it is nil, 0. This is closing balance. Closing balance is always denoted by balance carried down, as it is debit side to balance carried down, and closing balance is always find at the end of the accounting period, that is January 31st 2020. Immediately that should be transferred to the opposite side in the same account as a balance brought down. This is the opening balance for the first date of the next accounting period. It means that sales account showing the credit balance in this case. So generally machinery is an asset, should show the debit balance always because it is an asset to the business. Here cash account always shows the debit balance because it is also one of the current asset. So as per the transactions we have classified and we have posted in the account, so we found that cash account showing the credit balance, cash account showing the credit balance worth of rupees 50,000. So just we need to follow the principle or the rules of double entry bookkeeping system, principles of the accounts, rules of accounts, principles of accounts. So we prepared these accounts in the ledger book by using the entries passed in the journal, and also we have closed the accounts by using the different guidelines. So this is a process of transferring the journal entries to the ledger book in the respective accounts and closing the accounts in order to find the opening balances of the each account in the book. So whatever the balances we found it as a closing balances, by using the closing balances we need to prepare the trial balance, which is the third stage in the accounting cycle. So without preparing these accounts in the ledger book, we cannot prepare the trial balance in the business. So here there is an interlink between journal to ledger, ledger to trial balance to the final accounts. So until and unless completion of this journal, we cannot start ledger book. Without completing the ledger book, we cannot cannot start the trial balance. Without completing the trial balance, without tallying the amounts debit and credits columns in trial balance, we cannot go for preparation of the final stage of accounting cycle, that is final accounts. So this is what called ledger book, preparing the ledger accounts, posting the journal entries to the ledger accounts, closing of each account in the ledger accounts in the ledger book, and ascertaining the closing balances as well the opening balances of the machinery account, cash account and the sales account and other accounts which we prepare. So this is a process of preparing the ledger book with different accounts. Okay.